Good morning, welcome to some Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Thursday the 18th of February. So, I hope you're all well. Looking forward to this morning. I don't know why I've got the pound up there first, but anyway, let's start talking about the leading data that came out last night, the Fed minutes. There's no surprise, I suppose, but there was no mention of any starting of tapering. Basically, they're just looking to continue with the systems they've got running through there. There's little to show that there's a belief that the system's going to overheat too quickly at the moment, at least. So a lot of people were still looking to see if there was anything in the minutes to suggest that interest rates in a couple of years' time would start increasing before the 2 years that's expected. However, that's not to be. So we're sort of left really with a dollar which potentially could still see some weakness, and a lot of traders, or a lot of traders or analysts, are suggesting this is just a bounce on the dollar, and we'll see it continue its softening. There's certainly the rhetoric out there amongst the many countries at the moment to try and soften their currency, to do everything they can to be competitive. And it's the US, the Eurozone, neither of them are any different on that basis. They're both at it as well. So let's have a look at the technicals. Fundamental today. We've had Australian employment change slightly pipped up a little bit there. Improved slightly on the unemployment rate to 6.4. So slight improvements. Right. Aside of that, the rest this afternoon, crude oil inventories at 4 p.m. today, and the Philly Fed manufacturing index at 1:30. And we saw yesterday a bit of data coming out there. The inflation data, and it quite surprised the markets, and the core retail sales actually was the more important thing there. They're seeing that the checks that are being given are being spent, and with retail sales it bounced back bigger more than expected. It did give the dollar quite a shove at that stage, so we'll see. It might this data starting to come out now. Anything growth wise may just have a little bit more bang for its buck, effectively. Okay, Aussie dollar then. Let's start looking from the bigger picture here. Yesterday, solid outside, I say outside day, solid down day there. We're seeing a bit of a bounce at the moment, and it may be on this sort of Fed minutes, but it's not significant at this stage. It's just sort of coming back to its 60-minute pivot at this point here. And I think this is the sort of line in the sand. If it starts breaking above that, well, then might start looking a little bit bullish on the euro. But at the moment, it's sitting below that sort of level, below some of the key moving averages here. And really, you could be looking. I would be looking for shorts potentially off this sort of area. Maybe even a more conservative approach or a trend line across the lows there, but still erring on that short side. But until it sort of shows a little bit more, it has given a slight higher low here, so we'll tread carefully, but still hinting towards that downside for the euro for now. Now the pound, it's finding support off its daily A. It's quite solid there on the daily A. It's just looking through the pictures here, it's equivalent to the 4 hourly 50, so it's finding a bit of support there. It has been previously, and looking how it's breaking its trend line here at this stage as well. It's pre 8 o'clock. This could all fold back. It may even push up to the 60-minute 50. It's a funny old bit of time at this time of the day, effectively, in terms of some of these moves. But at the moment, it's erring towards that bullish side. It's put a bullish engulfing candle in here at this. If it closes anything like this, well, it's unlikely to pull back that quickly, but it's certainly looking bullish at the moment from that perspective. We could see some follow on from what we're seeing here. Just got to be aware of the 50 EMA just pushing down towards the 60, which may provide resistance along with that 100 that sits around that 138.80 area. So otherwise, if it starts getting a break of that level, actually would also give us a higher low, which again may see further upside. Dollar yen. Dollar yen currently just again yesterday putting new near-term highs. It's pulled back a little bit at the moment. Maybe it's got another shove to be had. I'm still looking at the bigger picture of weakness on it, but we need corrections, and it's seeing one at the moment. How far it pulls back, well, it's, let's say, doing a half decent job of it at the moment. But a lot of it's consolidated. We'll see how it pushes through this morning here. But so I was asked yesterday about opportunities. I'm in a sort of position long on the yen about opportunities to get into add into the position. Maybe back to this sort of area of 105.66 sort of area, that 21, that 4-hourly 21. May give an add-in opportunity somewhere in that sort of area, 105.22. Otherwise, back to the prior highs here. So there we are. But really, still at this stage, the game's not over. I don't think, anyway. Aussie dollar. Okay, so Aussie dollar yesterday again, a bit of a softish sort of price action kicking through there. Again, with like similar to the pound in terms of trying to push up at the moment. It's had a couple of shoves towards that 77.73 area, but each time it's pulled back off that level. A break above that would be certainly be more bullish. Short term, it's quite a mess in terms of some of this price action sitting around here, not giving a great deal of clues to its the direction. More difficult to read for me anyway. Canadian dollar, well, just staying pretty much below its daily 50 at this stage. A couple of days put up days yesterday, not so convincing, with it a retracement back into its trend, or into its inside the trend line, I should add. It's just retesting that trend line at the moment, just see how this develops, but erring on the softer side here for me. I would be looking at some stage of maybe a break of the trend line that runs across from these lows here upwards. If it starts breaking through that, well, maybe then it's back on its route south. New Zealand dollar. New Zealand dollar's been quite soft and a bit battered compared to a lot of markets in terms of its side of this dollar. We've seen the New Zealand dollar being hit quite hardish lately, particularly Aussie dollars, Aussie New Zealand dollar. Okay, it's been pushing up, and it's pushing up again at this stage here. So New Zealand dollar against the US dollar, as I say, it's well, it's been battered in a lot of places, and it's holding its own against the US dollar here. So, but it's a mess on a daily basis. Maybe there's opportunities to trade it back in this rising wedge that's sort of sitting on the 4-hourly rising channel. Sorry, not wedge. Looking down the time frames here, again, sort of whether if it starts breaking through this prior high here, well then it's putting higher lows in and may have a better chance of things against the US dollar. I'm not convinced at the moment with it. I still think it's being battered. Maybe at some stage it will catch the bid sides from the bigger money again, but at the moment too soft. Quick look at euro yen. Euro yen yesterday, well, it's put this bearish engulfing candle over there for the day at least. Has it got more downside? Well, really, it's consolidating around these lows at the moment. Normally, a market consolidating around its lows may see a continuation in that direction, but it's, I don't know, it's a bit mixed on this 60-minute. Maybe trying to get higher lows in there, but well, fractionally high highs anyway. We'll see how it runs this morning, but with the daily pivot up there, it could be just trying to draw itself into that, and that probably again will be the line in the sand. A break above that, well, yes, it's got the 50 up there, but it may see more upside there after that point. Right, let's have a quick look there, just checking. Right, Aussie New Zealand dollar, I don't see a fall off at this at the moment. It's still pushing pretty well in terms of the dailies here. Shorter time frames, it gets quite choppy at times. Actually, you're saying that it looks quite clean on that 4-hourly. And well, it's not too bad there. Retracement through the Asian session there, but it's just bucked itself up and gone again. So I see more of the same on that. As I said, I just missed this opportunity earlier in the week here just to get long on it personally, but there we go. At the moment, it doesn't seem to be wanting to stop. Okay, looking then at the S&Ps. S&Ps, well, yesterday ended up doji bar not giving too much away here at the moment, selling off this morning. Smaller time frame just looks a bit iffy, and I think we might see a little bit more of a correction. However, it seems to be well supported under this area. Price is spiking quite quickly back when they're getting down to these lows around the 39 area. We'll see what happens from there. But to be back on the bullish side of this, I really would want to see it breaking above that 60-minute 50 to see a more bullish sort of market. But it's no surprise we're seeing a consolidation after the way this market's moved, and maybe we're in for a longer period of consolidation. Gold. So gold, we'll see what's happening here. Daily wise, still, well, yesterday just closing pretty close to those prior lows. I was asked where it may come down to, as I said, on this weekly picture. If it breaks those lows, well, the support wise I've drawn this trend on may come into play. I've read other people's ideas in terms of this, and yes, they may come into play as well, but we'll see as it moves on there. I'm quite open-minded in terms of where it is at the moment. Low highs, low lows, to me it still looks bearish, and well, we may get a little pop up and a bit of weakness from the dollar, but at the moment I'm still sort of a bigger picture bearish on it. Okay, silver, well, just riding its channel really effectively, and but that's pulled off today. But as I say, it's just in a sort of bigger channel that it's sort of pretty much riding in, and don't see too much difference on that. Oil. The snap of the cold, etc. we've seen this morning, actually, it breaking through some further resistance up here, running into towards $62, or into $62, I should say. Bit iffy where it's sitting at the moment. Maybe we'll see yet another retrace. It's got this daily pivot below before it takes off again, but we'll see. As I said, personally, I'm sitting here waiting for a bit more of a bearish correction. However, it's just continuing pushing up, so waiting is the key thing there. At the moment, it seems to be doing no bad, and with, as I said, the cold snap in the US, etc., it could push on further yet. But at the end of the day, we do know that there's a hell of a lot of untapped surplus out there to get production running again. Regardless of COVID and etc. being or the vaccines for COVID, etc. It's just we were slopping around in oil beforehand, and we may be doing so again soon. Right, not literally, he says. That's pretty much it. Oh, Bitcoin. Well, Bitcoin's run through to the 52,000 now. It's a bit like a auction here at the moment, isn't it? And it's continued to shove up at this stage. A bit softer today, but another day, as I said, of pushing up. Euphoria, it could be pushing up. I mean, you look at how extreme it's pushing up here, and you'd expect some sort of correction at least. But well, it's not. It's as I said, it's always a longer term thing with a lot of these things, and people will start profit taking on a bigger scale at some point. But at this stage, it's still pushing up. Who am I to say anything different from that, eh? Right, on that note, I wish you a great day. I will catch you in the tomorrow morning. Bye for now.